r/ask Reddit. When did you realize your friends weren't actually your friends? When no one checked if I was okay when my dad died. Are you doing okay? Not really, but it is what it is. I'll offer some advice that comes from 40 years of figuring things out. If they make you feel bad more often than they make you feel good, they aren't your friend. If they shit talk about mutual friends to you, they're also slagging you off to those self-same people. They aren't your friend. If you are constantly the butt of their jokes in front of other people, they aren't your friend. If they undermine your achievements, or are only supportive when they want something, they aren't your friend. If they're ducking your fiancé behind your back, they're definitely not your friend. Bit of a specialist category, that one. When I had a large hole in my foot after stepping on an iron spike, they laughed as the ambulance guys closed the doors. One of the ambulance guys said, "Some friends you've got there." I realized he was right. When I got ill, once they realized I could no longer throw parties for them, they all left. I hope you have found friends that will stick with you. I'm too old for that now. This happened about 10 years ago. I've been fine without people. Mum got cancer and I had to come home and drop out of college to help the family. Said I might need some emotional support etc and got ghosted the next day. Real shitty part is I helped one of them with their grandmother's cancer and brother's attempted suicide. I am so sorry to hear that. That was disgusting of them. I hope you and your mom are doing great. I was like a decoration on their conversations with each other, and they only talk to me to tell me things like "be quiet" or "can I borrow this PLZZ?" They're just gross. You deserve better friends. I would never hear from anyone unless they needed something, usually when they wanted it for free. That's about where I'm at RN. I have like 2 friends that actually HMU besides my GF. The rest only talk to me if they're trying to sell me drugs or buy drugs. When they left me bleeding and concussed on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere in Cuba to find my way back to the resort completely disoriented. When they need you to be there for them, but don't want to be bothered to be there for you. When I stopped initiating conversations and all communication stopped. When I broke up with a girl that I had dated for less than 5 months and they all abandoned me for her, and then I found out they all were taking a trip to Colorado together and nobody even bothered to tell me. I found that out on Facebook. I was in a group of friends at uni and one of them was Swedish. This was remote friendship. We distanced. But I accidentally came across on Facebook that the Swedish guy came to visit the others. I'm unsure if I would have gone, but I would have liked to have been included. The silence confirmed that I was better off not in their lives. Me and 2 girls were walking down the street and they completely ignored me, so I was walking behind them. Then I decided to just turn around and walk back home. They didn't notice and they never asked where I went. That really hurt. Also at another point one of the girls came up to me and just flat out said to me, "Sometimes I don't understand why you have friends." Well, recently I've started wondering about it too. My best friend from high school didn't invite me to his wedding. My husband's best friend, been buddies since GR2, asked my husband to organize his stag party. Said they hadn't set a date, but wanted to do the party anyway. Guy got married 2 weeks later. Husband wasn't invited. Not my story, but a mate's. Guy invites all his high school friends. He's known them around 10 years around to celebrate his new house and newborn daughter. All the lads he invites drop MDMA in his lounge room and spend the night tripping without him, not even caring that he had all this amazing stuff he wanted to celebrate. Guy walks up to the ladies, who are obviously unhappy with the situation, and tells them, "I've just realized these guys aren't my mates. They are just using this event to drop and have fun on their own." Hearing that story broke my ducking heart. When they start hiding things from me, I know how that feels. After middle school, I realized that my friends weren't actually my friends since they'd spent basically the entirety of it bullying me and making my life a living hell. I was so used to being abused and mistreated. I thought that was what friendship was. It's unfortunate that the leader of it all got to live a good life, and I'm just fortunate that my friends from high school, who also knew this dude, believed me when I told them what kind of a person he was to me. When my best friend had her BF cheat on her, And the group of people who witnessed it didn't say anything for a whole year. It made me question their morals. Like, if I was in my bestie's position, would they not say anything for a whole year? Not to mention, they would talk massive amount of crap on us when we weren't around. So yay. My best friend at the time witnessed my ex cheating on me. He agonized over whether to tell me, ultimately deciding not to because he knew that, as in love with her as I was, I would never believe him and then I would end our friendship. He chose to remain silent so that he could support me when I found out on my own. He confessed once she and I had broken up, fully expecting me to punch him in the face. Instead, I hugged him and thanked him. When you need help, so you start writing him a message, then see 3 unanswered messages from you asking for his helps, and right above a conversation of you helping him out for hours on stupid shits. A big +1 for this one. Whenever they need me, I'm making myself more stressed to complete my work so I can separate some time for them. But if I need help, attention for an advice, etc., I should evaluate whether my problem is big enough so that I get the right to bother the majesty. When he ripped me and our other friend flatmate off for $700, and when we confronted him about it, he took all his nice stuff and left us to get rid of his trash and never paid us our money back. So essentially we were down $700, meaning we had to come up with that money. We had to continue paying rent etc with one less income, and we had to pay to get rid of his crap. Duck you Vance. Yay, duck you Vance. When I realized that my 2 best friends just came over to mess with me and make fun of me together. That's tough. Trios rarely work. I speak from experience. 2 times I got into trios, the other 2 ended up a lot closer while I became the outsider. Kinda feels like you lost a race because you all started at the same point. When in my senior year I found myself completely and utterly alone after a difficult breakup. When they greet you in the morning not with a good morning or hello, no what's up, no hey there, it's you got some weed, like duck, dude, no, I don't have any weed for leeches. One group of friends I had was a group of 7. During restrictions in London you were limited to groups of 6. Guess who was left out almost every time? Edit. Wow, I didn't expect all these responses. Thank you for all the support. Don't worry, I do have a few groups of friends and a wide support network, so this didn't affect me that badly. It more just made me take stock and think, oh, I'm definitely number 7 in this group, so I should take that into account when I decide who to spend my time with. When I got rid of Facebook, on the plus side, it did show me who the real friends were and who I was willing to keep up a meaningful relationship with. After deleting all my social media, the number of people who celebrated my birthday decreased drastically. Last year it was around 50 people DMing and saying happy day. This year it was just 5. When I realized I had a crazy high standard for what a friend was supposed to be and understood no reasonably self-involved individual could ever live up to that. Friends are now just human beings that currently enjoy my company due to mutual hobbies, interests, and are under no obligation to do anything more than that. I have so many friends now. I was in a band with my closest friends, and we used to travel a lot for gigs etc. because it was just for fun, and we all had real jobs. Sometimes one of wouldn't be able to make it, and I noticed that whoever wasn't in the car would get ruthlessly slammed by my friends. After 3 or 4 times I worked out that if I wasn't in the car, they would say bad things about me. So one day I say I can't make it to the gig, and I send along a colleague from work to take my place. Next day he reported back to me that they spent the whole trip there and back hanging shit on me, and not in a fun way. They genuinely were not my friends. Never spoke to any of them again. When I moved and no one ever visited me or called when I had kids, and never invited me to their weddings, and if I was sat at a random table. Either we were super tight but I was just a random to them. We were seniors in high school. It was when a friend asked me to write her entire senior research paper because she was failing and I said no. She then went on to tell the entire school about my past sexual abuse, which I had disclosed to her in confidence the year prior. That's how I got the nickname Alabama for the rest of the year. It was my brother who assaulted me when I was 5 and he was 15. As a small consolation prize, she failed senior year, dropped out, Works at Walmart last I heard and has 3 kids with 3 guys. I went on to get my nursing degree. Work IQA and am happily married. Duck you Nikki, you got what you deserved. I came across an old mutual friend back in late 2016. We talked and caught up with our lives from a 10-year gap since we've seen each other last. Following year 2017 through 18 he started turning things around and becoming a fake friend. He started asking for money at least once a month at first, then progressed to every other week, varying from $20, then to $100, then $500. Excuses were, I need it for my cell phone bill, or I need it for a Mother's Day gift followed by I need it for rent. Meanwhile this guy was working at McDonald's full time at $16 an hour and living with his grandparents rent free. I decided to cut ties with this person. When she told me she wanted her bridesmaids not to look too pretty and why don't I research how to be a pregnant bridesmaid and deal with it. She later skipped my baby shower and didn't send a gift. I opted out of being a bridesmaid in her wedding and opted out of her life right after the wedding. 10 years of friendship over in a matter of months. It was wild. When someone else told me they said they're only your friend because they feel sorry for you and tried prying as to why. Me and this girl were both in school counseling for absent fathers. So hearing this after she left the school was kinda devastating. Not to mention, another reason I won't trust anyone. I'd never had friends. And this was 4th grade. I just wish I knew why I was so pitiful. So sad. They felt they had to pretend to be my friend. I had one best friend when I was 12, a long way back, about 9 almost 10 years ago. Drama started, any newly teenage girls would, but it was different. She always blamed me, played victim, never once would admit she did something wrong. We had many falling outs, but they never lasted long and said it would be better. We went to different high schools and I met some other friends, who were my real friends. She was insanely jealous, tried to break me away from them. A few years down the road, after I left college, I became friends with a mutual friend of ours. A lot came to light. I learned all about the lies she said behind my back. I had proof of this, and when I confronted her, she would of course deny. On top of that, she would ditch me, ignore me and be a beach on and off. She'd be besties with one friend at a time and if there was drama with one she'd come crying to me. I still stayed. Last time we were friends, she met a guy and it became all about him. Stopped hanging out with me. Stopped talking to me half as much. Basically I was once again an afterthought. Something traumatic happened in my life secondhand for me but with someone in my life I'm very close to. She made it all about her and showed me she didn't care about me or my soul at all. Drama ensued and I dropped her for the last time. Been a whole year without TJ friendship now and it still sucks. 10 years I was tormented by her. I could go on for days about what she did to me, and it's pretty juicy. So yay, that's that. So one of my friends, talked to my girlfriend about wanting to meet her up alone and watch a movie or go to the beach together without me. My girlfriend told me but I was too scared to tell my other friends fearing they would hang out with me anymore. Later another one of my friends, got himself a girlfriend and after a while noticed he doing similar things to his new girlfriend. P, however, told me and the 4th friend about it and we broke contact with E. I also told them about what he had done to me and that I didn't tell them because I feared they would stop hanging out with me. After a few months later O and his girlfriend broke up and about 2 weeks afterward both O and S were talking to E as if nothing had happened and I just stopped hanging out with all 3 of them. Pros: I grew as a person and I cut off fake friends. Cons: that was 2 years ago and I haven't had any friends since. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content bruh. It's free and that's a great price.